Frozen Tundra Football League.
Friends and FTFLers, and welcome back to the longest running weekly episodic fantasy football update show, the FTFL Weekly Update. It is season 6 and the 21st season of the FTFL. It is I, host of the show, Brett Sieber, and the owner of, dare I say, new leaf turned over, new chapter in the book. May look the same, however, promise you it is entirely different. Hulkamaniacs. More on that, I suppose, later and as we roll through the next few weeks. Now, it is the 21st season in the FTFL. However, it is the first season sans that quitter and his ugly, grotesque, saggy, smelly, moldy titties and balls. That's right. I'm talking about Ryan Deesum, the quitter. No Deesum this year, which means there was an open spot. How did we fill that hole? Oh, we filled it with one Peter Vingy. Now, Peter, brand new to the league, however, already making his mark, and more on that in a little bit. The draft has come and gone. The season is now in front of us, so let us recap some of the things that have happened over the last couple of weeks. Now, the draft, there were 5 people in attendance. There were 5 people that were via Zoom. Kind of like last year. Let's hope next year we're back to full strength. Then again, do we really think Andy's actually going to make it to a draft? Probably not. Probably not. Now, going into the draft, of course, there was some big news with keepers. I didn't keep Aaron Rodgers. That's right. I cut ties with them. I said, see you later. Take that tired, staled, non-championship winning act, and why don't you go down the road a little ways? Now, but I wasn't alone now, because somebody coming out of last season was all in on his 2 keepers, all in on his 2 stud running backs, and I heard about it day in and day out. Cam Akers and J.K. Dobbins, J.K. Dobbins and Cam Akers. Oh, gonna run wild. Please, you're not even approaching mild yet. Cam Akers never even got off the ground. J.K. Dobbins, somewhat, kind of, sort of, and then he got hurt right before the draft. And when that happened, owner of the newly named Liquid Schwartz, what did he do in that situation? How did he try to take lemons and turn it into lemonade? By pawning off that lemon on an unsuspecting Adam Saltmarsh. That is right. After the injury news broke, before the rest of the league really caught wind of it, Adam Schwartz offered Adam Saltmarsh J.K. Dobbins in a trade. That's low, brother. That's low. Now, there is precedent in keeping a keeper throughout, an injured keeper throughout an entire season. Eric did it with Peyton Manning years ago, and the last person to do it was Ryan, the quitter Deesum. He did it with Andrew Luck, a whole season on the bench, never played it down, and oh, by the way, Deesum won it all that year. So, Adam Swart, I mean, it's already too late. You've cut him, he's gone, but there was some precedent for seeing it through all the way till the end. Now, before we get into kind of a little bit of a recap of the draft, you know, this period between the draft and the season is a bit of the quiet lull, where you kind of, the excitement of the draft is past, the season is still 2 weeks away, we're trying to just, you know, like, the energy is there, the excitement is there, we set our lineups right away, and then we kind of forget about fantasy football. And I think that's kind of what happened because, while you were sleeping, there was a trade. And not just any trade, but a blockbuster trade that only 4 people voted on. So I know you weren't paying attention. So that's why this show exists. Let me catch you up to speed. If I'm anything, over all the years you've known me, if I'm just one thing, I am a man of my word. Remember that jabroni we kicked down the road, cut ties with, told him to take his tired, stale, non-championship winning act away from here? Well, come on back, my son. Come on back. That is right. Aaron Rodgers is back where he belongs as the quarterback of the division champ Hulkamaniacs. That's right. I said as long as he's playing, he'll have a spot on my team, and he's still playing, so on my team he is. And some of you are like, oh, Brett, we knew this was going to happen. This isn't that big a thing. Whoa, this just in, big shit. No. But it's the other side of that trade where things really get interesting. I gave up Matthew Stafford. I gave up my rookie keeper from last year, Justin Jefferson, and a first-round pick in the 2022 draft. You're like, geez Louise, decent award, signed, sealed, delivered. You overpaid, my friend. No, it wasn't just for Aaron Rodgers. I got arguably one of the best running backs in football on my team. And you're like, yeah, I know, Brett, you have Alvin Kamara. He's arguably one of the best running backs in fantasy football, and he's on your team. I do have Alvin Kamara. But now I also have Dalvin Cook. That's right, Rodgers and Cook for Stafford, Jefferson, and a first-round pick. I have reloaded. And I promise you this. I'm done. I'm done being a joke. I'm done taking second place. I'm done constantly being reminded about how long it's been. Done. Also done the 2021 draft. A couple of the highlights from the draft that I found interesting. A tight end went number 1 and a rookie went number 2. Now the rookie was a running back, but I think in both those situations, now the people that were left on the board, you could argue all you want. I drafted a tight end high last year, and I got burned. Kelsey goes number 1. Najee Harris goes number 2. John owned 4 of the first, I believe, 11 picks of this draft, 12 picks of this draft, and he got crazy as John does. He took 2 tight ends in the first 2 rounds, Darrell Waller and Kyle Pitts. Now, the other really funny thing, too, that happened was John had 3 running backs and 2 tight ends and no quarterback. And we're like, why take a second tight end? You already are going to flex a running back because you can't flex. It was chaos, but as John only does. In round 3, John doubled down on the chaos and drafted a defense. And then in round 7, he drafted a kicker. Now, in John's defense, by round 7, he basically had his entire team. I don't even think he had a draft pick in the final 3 rounds. But it was really something. And it is always the case with the FTFL draft. I never can approach it the way I approach any other draft I'm in because of wild cards like John Linkowicz. Another little weird happening. The Denver running backs went back-to-back. Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon, both to Andy. So he gets the handcuff and then the starter, or the starter and the handcuff. Probably doesn't matter a whole lot. He got them both. Swartz drafted 2 defenses. I don't know why, but 2 defenses. Jeff and I didn't draft a kicker. Now, of course, we were missing a couple picks because of trades, because of a rookie keeper. It really doesn't matter. I'd rather load up on some other talent, and then I was actually -1 roster spot and didn't want to go full Linkowitz on it and keep it open 8 weeks. I did pick up a kicker just a couple days ago. Peter drafted not 1, not 2, but 3 tight ends, so he looks to be all in on flexing that position. Eric and Matt both drafted 6 wide receivers, while Salty drafted 5 running backs. Sid is the only person in the league who currently owns, he still does, 3 quarterbacks. 1 was a rookie keeper, 1 was a player, and of course I'm sure 1 was trade bait that he did pull the trigger on. 5 teams drafted just 1 quarterback. Sid almost by himself matched those 5 teams total. In all, 19 rookies were taken. It got heavy near the end. Of course, some rookie keepers. There's some players earlier that are definitely going to play. The draft kind of meandered a little slow at times. Definitely not the energy when everyone's in the room, and definitely not the cabin draft that happened last time. From what I understand, all of Jeff Marks's picks were made from his chair and not a single one from the floor of the bathroom. Bravo, Jeff. Bravo. All right, so as we head into the 2021 season, I think about what I want to projections. How do I want to go about, laying out who might be the team to beat and who might not. Now, I know right after the draft grades were sent out, and Matt, you got an E, which I don't even know what that means. Andy got an A+. Andy also got an A+ last year, and it led him from first to worst, and his first ever DSOM award. So I really don't think we can do much as far as trusting those metrics. So I set out to create some of my own metrics. I thought, all right, well, how do we go about doing this? Yes, depth is a thing. However, where are the superstars? Where are the big guns that are going to carry teams? Top 10 running backs, top 10 wide receivers based off of a PPR set of current player rankings. McCaffrey, Cook, Kamara, Henry, Elliott, Eckler, Barkley, Taylor, Jones, and Chubb for the running backs. Adams, Hill, Diggs, Hopkins, Ridley, Metcalf, A.J. Brown, Keenan Allen, Justin Jefferson, and Terry McLaurin for the receivers. Kind of look through the rosters. Who's got who? Well, the North ended up with 11 of those players, and if my Inver Grove Heights and or Browerville math is correct, the South ended up with 9 of them. 3 teams had only one. Eric, Salty, and Swart. Peter, Sid, Jeff, Andy, and Linkowitz all had 2 of those studs. Yet, the cream that rose to the top last year seems to still be hanging out there this year because one team had 3 of those top 20 players and the other team had 4. And these 2 teams will play against each other in week 1 of the 2021 FTFL season. Matt coming in with 3 of those studs, and yours truly after the trade of the century. I have 4 of them. Now, does that mean anything? I don't know. People could get hurt. Sure, they could get hurt. But boy, oh boy, if I'm the South, I'm a little nervous about how many stud running backs are in the North. The South definitely has more of the stud wide receivers. I didn't throw quarterbacks into the mix, mostly because Adam Swart thinks quarterbacks are stupid, and really it doesn't matter who you have. I disagree. That's why, of course, I brought Rodgers back. But in the end, we still have to play the games, and we're going to have to wait and see how this shakes out. Now, before I get to the week 1 matchups, a couple little things, and you're thinking, well, normally this is part of the show. Before he announces the games for each week, he goes over the stud of the week, the dud of the week, and the DSOM update. Well, we don't really have studs and duds because, I could have picked who I think my top players are going to be. I didn't want to get into the nitty-gritty with that. However, number 1, I do have this week's reason why Adam Swart should be this year's DSOM award-winning recipient because he tried to trade J.K. Dobbins after he was injured. That's terrible. That's bad ownership. That's bad friends. That's awful. Shame on you, Adam Swart. And, oh, by the way, you kept a guy that got hurt. That's DSOM-worthy, too. But more seriously, though, an actual DSOM award update draft recap style. I said Peter, welcome to the league, and already making a little bit of noise and a name for himself. And here's why. Right after the draft, Adam Swart asked, hey, where's the IR? What happened to the IR? Even though Sid had fully explained that there is no IR, we added a couple roster spots, so you stash and store accordingly and make it happen. But one team found a way to put a player actually on the IR. That was the Valhalla Vandals, owned by Peter Vange. Now you're thinking, all right, weird, okay, snafu. Who was he storing? Who was he stashing away? Who was so valuable that it had to be protected by an IR spot? Oh, it had to be. Who's Peter's running backs? Who's Peter's wide receivers? Did Patrick Mahomes get hurt? Is that what this is? Is it Patrick Mahomes? Nah, it's none of that. Ryan Suckup. That's right, a kicker. Peter attempted to put a kicker on IR. Now, he may come back and tell us it was the computer's fault. He may come back and tell us it was the wrong ride. However, it will forever be noted and documented that Peter put a kicker on IR. Welcome to the FTFL, Peter Bingy. All right, here we go. Week 1. We're going to fire this off with the Old Log Cabin Pizza Bowl. Not quite the same since the owners have since, I guess, kind of gone their separate ways. It was mutual, so it was fine. Mana, 4-time lucky ass pants champ. Mana taking on the Radioactive Monkeys. The Architect, division winner of the South last year, taking on division winner of the North, Hulkamaniacs. Team Linkowitz gets to welcome the Valhalla Vandals to the league, taking on Peter's team. Pack Attack Eric taking on Liquid Schwartz. And Make Kramerica Greater again, taking on the Mixin' Cocktails in what is absolutely Toilet Bowl Part 2. Really, if Andy wins, he'll already almost be halfway to his win total from last year. Again, I said it earlier, I'm going to repeat it now. This year is going to be different. This year, we're done with Mr. Nice Guy. This year is my year.
Ease his pain.
Until then, peace! Yeah, oh yeah, no, listen. I went back, and I traded him, and I got him back. I know, just like you had asked, if I could see if that could work. Made it, and yeah, I got the other guy. I mean, I thought that was an absolute, just a complete, shot in the dark. No way I was going to get both. We totally got them. So, man, I thank you so much. I appreciate your guidance this season. I'm kind of at the end of my rope here. I really didn't know what else to do or where else to turn, and so I'm thankful you're willing to share, your expertise with me this year, and I can't wait. I can't wait. Yep, yeah. I'll call you after week 1. Have a good week, man.